shown the things that you did in this world. Did you do good and did you do bad, and all of those things. And this is by the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And people will come out of their graves in scattered groups, and each person will be shown his or her deeds. Whoever does a good deed equal to the weight of the smallest ant, he will be rewarded for it. And whoever does an evil deed equal to the weight of the smallest ant, he will be punished in accordance with his the thing that he did that was wrong. Okay, so this will show us that on this terrible day, because it is a great and terrible day. It's a day that is so difficult, and that will be a lot of fear will be spread. Because as we mentioned, that the people would sweat in accordance with their sins. If they were committing a lot of sins, then they'll have a lot of sweat, and it will, cover their body in accordance to the level of sin that they did. So those are just some of the signs of that day. It's a very, very harsh day that we all have to try to prepare ourselves for by doing what? Doing bad deeds or good deeds? Good deeds. So should we obey our parents and be good? Yes. Or no? What should we, whoa, let me finish. Should we behave in class, or is it better to cut up in class a little bit?
Better to behave.
Assent. It's better to behave and do the work that we're told to do, because your teacher and your parents, they hopefully, generally, they want good for you. They do want good for you. Okay? And when they want good for you, they're going to tell you to do good things. So then you should do what? You should do the good things. You should listen to them. Okay? Because those things will help you on the day of judgment. By being good, by living a good life and doing righteous deeds and doing things that please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life, that will help you on the day of judgment. Hold on just a minute, and then we'll explain if there's any questions. Some of the things that we gain from these verses, I've written some of the things on the board there. The first thing is that belief in the day of judgment and the day of recompense, meaning the day when we're going to be judged for our good and bad deeds, we believe as Muslims that is something that will take place. We believe in the day of judgment, the day of resurrection. Okay? We believe in that as Muslims, that everyone will be accounted for what they did in this life on that day, and that it's a terrible day. There will be earthquakes and so forth. Okay? So we believe in that, and that's one thing we gain that from the surah, from this verse. Another thing we believe in, and that we gain from this surah, this verse of the Quran, is that the earth and the heavens will change. Meaning that it will change. It won't be in the state that it's in. For example, we know the earth is going to change because it's going to have earthquakes, and there will be the sweat, and there will be many other signs of terrible calamities that will happen on the day of judgment. This is a fearful day. So that shows us that that things change, that the earth will change. Okay? And it won't be recognizable like the earth that we recognize it as of today. Another thing that we learn from this verse is that things that normally don't speak, like the earth and so forth, will be speaking. Those objects and those things will inform us about what we used to do. Those things that we used to try to hide from people, the sins and so forth, will be known that day. Okay? So we also learn this from this surah, this verse. Also, we also learn that even if you as we mentioned in another hadith, we mentioned about if you do a good deed, even if it's as small as part of a date, that this will help protect you from the hellfire, because you're doing a good deed which helps to remove a bad deed. So if you give charity, you do something good, especially these days because we're in Dhul Hijjah, we're in the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, that these are good times to do really good deeds, to fast, to do charity, to make istighfar, say, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness, make dua, supplication, do extra prayers. All of these things are very important during this time, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it, and this is a very blessed time when those deeds will be multiplied if you do good. So that's also, those things will help you to stay away from the hellfire. And that we also learn that the believers, that their good deeds will be known to them and help them in the hereafter. Okay, the deeds of a believer will help him or her in the hereafter. Okay, on the day of judgment. Also, even in this life, when you do good, you almost always only get good results from it. You usually don't get bad results from being honest, being truthful, being kind to people. It's very, those kind of things you only gain benefit from. Okay? The people who disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, believe in his messengership, that he was the last prophet and messenger, that they will get their reward in this life. Okay? They will get their reward in this life, but in the hereafter, they won't have any reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if they were doing good. Because belief is also the foundation of trying to go to paradise. That La ilaha illallah, the person who believes that there is one God worthy of worship, and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was his last prophet and messenger, that this is the key to paradise. This is the Miftah al-Jannah. This is the thing that will help you get into paradise. You have to believe that there's only one God worthy of worship, and that Muhammad was the last prophet and messenger, meaning that we don't, no shirk, we don't believe that Muhammad was God, we don't believe Jesus was God or anyone else, but we believe only in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one God worthy of worship. And we'll end the dars at that. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammad.